Hey, yo, what's up, world? It's your boy Chuck with Gills again, aka Charles Brown, back again with another what? Talking facts. But first, I want to ask you how you doing. Are you good? That is good. Great. I want to get into something. You know what I do here? We talk controversial issues. We talk about controversial topics. I do not shy away from topics that have a lot to do with pop culture, hip hop culture, politics, things that I feel passionately about. When I do a talking facts, you're going to get 80% of my opinion based around what I know about the topic. And this topic, I think I know a lot about. We're going to talk about Leaving Neverland. I'm not going to say I know a lot about the documentary because, frankly, I didn't watch it. How ironic that I'm doing uh, a a web series. I'm going to discuss the documentary that I didn't watch, but I got my reasons for not watching it. I got my reasons, and I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk facts right now. So let me start with the facts of the case. It ain't a case because no one's on trial, but let's call it a case. Michael Jackson, the greatest entertainer, arguably on the face of the earth, one of the most popular human beings outside of Jesus or Caesar, to grace planet Earth. We don't even need to argue that. That is a fact. That is a fact. Michael Jackson is world renowned. Michael Jackson has a strange obsession with being around children. That is a fact. Better or worse, Michael Jackson loves the kids. Let's say that. And by loving the kids, that means he built this place called Neverland. He built a ranch that has rides, games, animals, food, music, joy, and of course you got Michael Jackson. So therefore, who don't want to go to Neverland Ranch? You're bringing sick kids with cancer, all kind of kids over there to laugh and play on the train, talk to bubbles, do whatever they want to do. I think there's a rhino, I don't know. But end of the day, Michael Jackson, like I said, is the most popular entertainer on the face of the earth. Everyone wants to be around him, including kids parents, for that matter. Including kids' parents. And we're going to come back to that in a minute. But remember what I just said to you. Including the kids' parents want to be around Michael Jackson. So, two of these kids now, I want to say they're in their 40s. I'm not sure, but I think they're in their late 30s, early 40s, something like that. They have to be pushing 40. I believe one of them said Michael molested him and had sex with him from the age of around 6 or 7 to like 14. Let's just say that's what he said. I believe it was like 7 years of molestation at the hands of Michael Jackson. Fact. So, Michael Jackson was at one point accused, and then he was arrested under suspicion of child molestation, sexual abuse, things like that. Supposedly he had a mole on his penis and all this stuff, and the FBI went into his house and they searched the chambers and the secret compartments and all this and that and the third. Big investigation, big hoopla, da-da-da-da. Michael came up with the video. I never did this. This is some bullshit. So it was a very big, very scary time for Michael Jackson fans, to say the least. Very scary because two reasons. One, you weren't sure if he didn't do it. You weren't 100% sure. You wanted to say you were 100% sure. And there's a lot of people beating their chest saying they're 100% sure. But at the end of the day, if you got complete logic, if you are being honest with yourself, this is a grown man spending way too much time dolo with little kids. It is a fact. I am the biggest Michael Jackson fan that anyone has ever seen. I'm probably top 50. Let's say that. I ain't top 1, number 2, but I'm in the top 50 out of like some million people. and I can't go and they say we're gonna put you over a drawbridge. And if Michael Jackson did this, your life depends on you. We're gonna drop you in this shark infested water if Michael Jackson did this. Now, do you believe he did it or not? I'm not getting on the drawbridge. I'm not getting on it. I don't believe he did it, but I'm not gonna put my life, I'm not gonna bet my life on it. I'm not betting my life on nobody. But I don't believe Michael did it. End of the day, we had this huge trial. Michael ends up beating the trial with the help of this kid. One of the kids who was now, by the time Michael went to trial, I think the kid might have been in his 20s. I think his name is Wade Roberson. He might have been in his 20s when he went to trial against Michael. Not against Michael. He went to trial in the defense of Michael. And he was one of the key witnesses that let Michael get away. Not going to say get away because that's not the word. That helped Michael become a free man. So I think that this guy made a conscious decision, decided that he was going to, I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? That he was going to, not cape, but he was going to vouch that Michael Jackson is this good person. He's a good man. He does not do things to kids. And he said this for years and years and years. The reason I bring this guy up because now he's one of the accusers on the Leaving Neverland film. He's one of the accusers saying that Michael Jackson touched him for many, many years. Again, I did not see the documentary. I saw key points. I saw highlights. I saw certain points of interest where they discussed that he had them do drills to put their clothes on fast in case anyone came. I didn't watch the thing. I didn't hear anything about the actual sex. I don't want to, true or not, I don't want to hear that. Just truth be told. I do not want to hear about child sex, whether it's real or fake. So I don't need to sit and watch 2 hours of people talking about sexual blah, blah, blah. I might watch the thing one day, but I don't feel I need to at this point because I keep hearing about how graphic it is. And when you're saying it's graphic, you're talking about little kids. And when you're talking about little kids, you're talking about sex with little kids. So whether let's say Michael did it or they making it up. Either way, they're sitting there describing sex acts. I don't need to hear that. But end of the day, that's what allegedly they're saying that Michael did. He did this, that, and the third, which is horrible. I am a victim of abuse as a child, and it's horrible. And I think I have a leg to stand on when I say what I'm about to say about this situation. So, my first point is, both of these men have said for years that Michael did nothing, especially the Wade guy. He went so far as to dress up and go to court and say Michael did nothing. So this is what I want to say. You're going to bring out a documentary 10 years after Michael's dead, talking about Michael did this, Michael did that. Oh, why'd you do it? Because I had a son. I looked at my son. And if I was thinking about if that happened to my son. First of all, I got so much to say about this. You went 20 years saying this man was innocent, right? 20 years. By your own account, this man never touched anyone. You said this for 20 years. Now, all of a sudden, after your lawsuit is denied because your lawsuit against the Jackson estate, yes, these two guys had lawsuits against the Jackson estate after their so-called kids were born. All of a sudden, now they got lawsuits, right? The lawsuits are thrown out because the statute of limitations ran out. So then how else can you get paid from this? See, the thing is, when people, I'm not saying these dudes are lying or telling the truth. I'm just saying the facts look shifty to me. I'm not going to say 20 years somebody didn't do something to me when I know for a fact they did for 7 years. They raped me and did all kind of stuff. When I had my issue, you think that I didn't let nobody do that to me for over a week, 2 weeks. That's not going to be something happening in 7 years. That's not going to be something you're going to let somebody do for 7 years. Unless they're your direct relatives and you have no way to get out of that house. That's the only way you're going to do that. So why you keep going to this man's house if he's doing this to you? And why your parents keep taking you there? Regardless, like I said, here we go. Parents want to be around this man. Parents want to be around this man. You're going to leave this man in a room with your kids. I don't give a shit what he say. You're not leaving your kid with a grown man in his bedroom. It's a fact. Unless he's who? Michael Jackson. And you want to be around him because you know there's money there to be made. You know there's money to be given out. He's going to take care of you on a higher level. He's going to take care of your kids on a higher level. Your kid don't make that decision. That's your decision. You decide whether he goes and gets in his pajamas in Michael Jackson bed with bubbles. That's you as a parent. So what parent? Let's start there. You're taking your kid there to get molested by a grown man. I personally do not believe on that level, just that level alone, that parents are going to keep throwing their kids to a wolf like that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And if this stuff was as bad as you're saying it is, you would have shown signs of being affected. You would have shown signs. Oh, he told me we were going to go to prison. That's what they do. I get that. Predators do that. They tell you stuff so that you won't tell. I understand that. I understand it. It is a fact. But when you hit 12, 13, 14, that's not going to work no more. Why are you going to this man's house? And I know some of these kids they took up refuge and they lived there at Neverland. But in my own life, I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying, but I was. So I'm like, how are you going 6, 7, 8 years with this guy supposedly doing this stuff to you? Either you're lying or you wanted it to happen. Facts. I am not going to Michael Jackson's house at 13 years old to get fondled. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. I'm not doing that. The average kid is not doing that. You're not going to have all these kids still doing that. There are mad kids that say he never touched him at all. Facts. Every kid that said he touched him recanted. Facts. Every single one of them. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm 100%. I'm almost 100% that every kid that said that has recanted. Yeah, one kid that was wishy-washy back and forth. He did, he didn't. Well, I don't know where that kid at now. But end of the day, this is too much going on for it to be just these two kids coming forward with the story. Right? So I'm saying in my opinion, and this is why I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. Some people may say, oh, it's the same thing as R. Kelly. When he came out with the documentary, fuck, nigga, we already knew R. Kelly wasn't shit before the documentary. There was 89% of the black community, white community, everyone knew R. Kelly was trash. We looked the other way anyway. No one walked around thinking that this guy was an innocent man walking around being completely misconstrued and just taken out of context. No one thought that. We just didn't care. One, because the girls were girls of color. Two, they weren't showing who they were. They weren't saying who they were. We never got a chance to connect face to face with these victims. And three, Aaliyah wasn't acting like a victim. She wasn't acting like a victim. So we never connected on any kind of level that these are victims, these are real people that this guy is hurting. Even when the rumors continue, R. Kelly has a sex cult. I thought it was funny. I literally thought it was funny that I'm like, there's no way this guy has a sex cult. a sex cult. You're telling me this dude in the middle of Chicago and he has a sex cult. And my second thought was he probably does. Because nobody cares. No one's going to stop him. Until the documentary came out. Now everybody wants to stop him. Right? 6 episodes, changed the entire narrative, and now they're going to lock him up. He got indicted. He went to jail. He never went to jail. He went to jail back in, what year was that? 03? I don't know what year the trial was. 04? Something like that. Beat it. Beat the trial. A lot of witness intimidation, a lot of payoffs, but he beat it. It's a fact. He beat it. So I say that to say what? Now, Michael Jackson, they got a documentary. Michael's dead. What you doing the documentary now for? It's 10 years after his death. Why Oprah entertaining this shit got these doofballs up there interviewing them? This is how I feel right now. This is some real shit. Even if he fucking did it, who gives a fuck with these guys? Because the simple fact, you had years to tell this fucking story while this man was alive. You wait till this man is dead, 10 years after his death, and now you're on here talking about, oh, he did this and he said that, and I was whatever with Mike, looking for sympathy. This is my thing, bro. Why should we sympathize with a guy who said for 20 years he didn't do nothing? What kind of credibility do you think you would have if I was saying for 20 years it never happened? And then, wham, after my lawsuit gets dropped out of nowhere that I'm whatever, now I got a documentary claiming I'm not getting paid for it. Right? This is my thing. And I know they got a reason, an excuse for everything. Victims of whatever, blah, blah, blah. This ain't the average case, bro. This ain't no Catholic priest stuff where you go to your 49 and then you have a revelation and then you go and say the fucking Father Flanagan touched me and I want his ass locked up. It's not that. It's not that. They've been talking about this Michael Jackson child molestation stuff since the freaking 80s. Fact. It is a fact. How in 2019 you just now decide to tell this story in the so-called Me Too era? In the so-called Me Too era. Now you're empowered to tell this story, dredge up all this bullshit, and now you got everybody saying, well, to what end? To what end? Oh, looking out for other victims. You weren't looking out for other victims for the 20 years you said nothing happened. It's a fact. It's a fact. When that man was alive, it was whatever. I think these dudes was at his concert or something ridiculous. I'm like, bro, everyone is up in arms. Everyone has something to say right now. Everyone is like, they're on one side of the thing or other. The same side they've been on since 19 whatever. If you rocked with him, he was innocent. If you didn't, he was guilty. There's no in between. I don't think anybody really going to be swayed. Some people going to be swayed by this, but they want to be swayed. At this point, let's be real. Let's be brutally honest. Brutally honest. What can we do about it? What can we do about it? Michael Jackson been dead for fucking 10 years. What are we supposed to do with this information? You gonna mute Michael Jackson? You're gonna mute Michael Jackson. He hasn't been convicted of anything. They got stations in Europe that's never gonna play his music again. For what? For what? Honestly. Let's keep it 100. These two dudes said this shit before the documentary because they had to make lawsuits against the Jackson estate. You knew that when they did their lawsuit, what they were saying. Now a documentary comes up. Now you're gonna mute him, take his music off, no more Billie Jean and all this bullshit. It's asinine to me. It is ridiculous. End of the day, this man ain't here to defend himself. Fact. This man is dead. You're going to wait till 2019. Now you want to mute him, cancel him, and all this nonsense. But they've been saying this for years, that Michael did this, Michael did that. They never pinned nothing on him. They had him in a federal investigation. He walked away from it. They never brought another one up again. If he's doing this much to these little kids, and he only had one, how many pedophiles? Let's talk about this. How many pedophiles walk off on a pedophile charge? How many pedophiles, especially one of this high profile? How many of them beat the case? When the FBI got him in the crosshairs, we intent on locking you up. You're going to jail. How many of them beat the case? This shit ain't about money. Bill Cosby in jail right now. This is about what you can prove. They haven't proved it. It's a fact. Now, we could talk about rumors all day. We could talk about, yes, it's weird. It's absolutely weird to have a grown man sleeping or chilling or whatever with kids around, with having all these birthday parties with these kids. It's weird. I'll give you that. It's a fact. It is extremely I don't know what to say, what the word is. And I always wrestled with that. We gave Michael a pass because he was Michael. I always wrestled with that. But we were like, oh, Michael didn't have a childhood. He was thrown right into the music business at 5. He was made to just work. He never had any peers, and he was always just thrown out to it by his father. He was abused by his dad and all this stuff, right? Fact. Joe Jackson was a fucking asshole. It's a fact. But he put them kids in a situation to be the best in the world, and they took advantage of it. They wasn't running around robbing people's house. They was dancing on stage across the world. So you can say what you want about Joe Jackson. He did what he wanted to do. He made his kids into the greatest ever. So I say that to say this. We gave Michael this gigantic pass. We saw him with Brooke Shields. We saw him with Webster. We don't say it. We saw him with all these young people. Young people loved him. I remember when Hardee's was giving out the one glove. You can go to Hardee's and get one glove, Michael Jackson glove. It was 4 of us in the car, and we circled Hardee's 4 times to get the glove. And we waited in that long-ass line because everyone was circling Hardee's getting the Michael Jackson glove. Kids loved him. Loved him. We loved him. And it's easy for me to say, oh, I'm not going to let him touch me and fondle. But I'm not going to let him touch me and fondle me. And no one else should have. When you're 7 or 8, I get that. 9, 10, okay. 11, 12, all right. Now we starting to be like, yo, this ain't right. This dude said till he was 14. Are you serious? Are you serious? And I know this is harsh. This is hard. This is harsh. This is harsh. But 14, bro? Seriously? 14? A lot of this stuff making sense. Some of it don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like I said, if you're 14 and your sister, your dad, your mom is fondling you, you can't escape that. You ain't getting in no car to drive over there to get fondled on. It is a fact. Unless you want to. I know that's harsh, but it is a fact. By the time you're 10, you're going to be like, Ma, I don't want to go to Michael's house anymore. Why you don't want to go? Wait, I just don't want to go. I just want to go do something else. You're not going to keep going over there. It is a fact. I don't care what you say. You're not going to keep going over there unless you want to. And it don't make it right, but it makes it ridiculous for you to come right now in 2019 and make a fucking documentary saying this guy abused and molested you until you were 14. It doesn't make any sense. This man is not here. So you're going to destroy his reputation. You're going to sit up there with Oprah, right? You're going to sit up there with Oprah and talk in these hushed tones and tell this fucking story that only you believe in someone else. Whoever else is buying this shit, I get it. It is what it is. Like I said, it could be true. Us Michael Jackson fans don't want to believe it, but it could be 100% true. It could be 100% true. But why now, bro? Why now? Why now? Why after this man is dead? You couldn't do when he's live. You couldn't look him in the eye. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand it. It's too much. It's too much that is not making sense to me. As a civilian, just a regular person, not a law enforcement agent, not a Michael Jackson fan or Michael Jackson hate, it just doesn't make any sense on a human level. It doesn't make any sense for a grown man to go 20 years saying someone didn't do nothing and then to flip it and now you want to do a documentary when the guy's dead. It doesn't make sense to me. The only way that makes sense is if you never wanted the secret to be told ever. Then you wouldn't say nothing ever. That you would hold that for this many years. Now we're going to destroy this man all over again. We're going to talk muting him, taking his records off, da-da-da. He's back to being the freak, the weirdo, the child molester. And I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit because he's still worldwide. He's still loved. That's why this freaking documentary is getting any burn at all. Because people still love this man and they still hate him. 10 years after his death, he still can be the number one topic if you drop a documentary like this. And HBO has a lot of skin in the game that has nothing to do with integrity about this thing. This little, we want to be fair and balanced. We want to get this story out. We think this needs to be heard. You don't give a shit about this story. Because if you really gave a shit, I guarantee there's 2 other kids that say he ain't never touched them ever. It's a fucking fact. Why they ain't on the documentary? And if they are, I ain't hear nothing about them. I didn't watch it, but they damn sure would have had them on TV at some point. So if this shit is a fair and balanced, why you ain't talking to nobody in the Jackson family? Why you not talking to nobody that used to go there? Why you talking to Corey Feldman? He already defended him. So what are we talking about? You have a biased documentary, in my opinion. If there's no counterpoint in the documentary, it's biased. If there's no counterpoint, it's biased. So you got a biased documentary with all these accusations. If you give me long enough, I can write a whole book and make somebody sound horrible. You give anyone long enough, they can dream up the most heinous shit about a person from experiences that they had with them. They could have been playing hide go seek all fucking day. 10 years later, he done turned hide go seek into hide and go touch. He was touching me. Then 10 years after that, he put my penis in his mouth. It could turn into whatever he wanted to be. It could turn into whatever he wants it to be. It is a fact. I do not believe that these kids were left unattended for all these years to have this happen to them this much with no intervention. It is a fact. Your uncle cannot molest you for 7 years and no one know. It is a fact. I'm not saying for a month, 2 months, 7 months, 1 year. You can't molest nobody for 7 years that don't live there. It is a fact. At some point, they're going to be like, where's Wade? Wade? Where are you, Wade? At some point, your mom going to find out your dad, someone. When they go in this room and they don't see you, and then they hear giggling in the goddamn closet somewhere, and there's no fucking handle to get in there, they're going to be like, something's wrong with this. It is a fact. So I personally, whatever happened, already happened. I got 2 stances on this. One, if this shit happened, it been happened. It been happened. You could have been told this story. And I know that's victim shaming, but I don't give a fuck. I'm like, bro, you need to be honest with this. You cannot be a victim that keeps denying that the crime happened. If there's a woman getting beaten by her husband, right? There's black eyes, there's bruises, and she continuously says, I fell on the steps, it's whatever. 7 years go by, 10 years. She leaves this man. But for 10 years, she says he never beat me, he never touched me. 20 years, she's his biggest supporter. And then at the end of the 20 years, after this guy died, here she comes, one to sue and one to do a documentary about how fucking fucked up he was. No one's going to believe you. No one's going to believe you. But yet, here we are with these guys sitting on the couch with Oprah. The director claims he didn't want to believe him either. Dude, these guys, if this web of deceit is as deep as it looks, on either side, there's a lot of hidden deceit there. If he did it, there's mad deceit for them to cover it up all this time. So that means these are 2 people who harbor a lot of stuff. So whether he did it or not, it doesn't matter. They're going to make you believe it either way. Because at this point, they've been carrying whatever secrets, true or false. If it's false, they've been carrying a lie because they said it happened in the beginning. When the guy went to trial. And if it's true, they've been carrying this shit all these years saying whatever. So either way, these guys are carrying a really bad vibe in their body. They're messed up, bro. So either way, if you give them long enough, they're speaking in things that they make sense. You have a grown man in a room with children. It makes sense that something's going to happen. So you're gonna wanna hear it. And if they put enough spice on it, that means it happened. It happened. All Michael ever used to say was, I would never do that. I never did it. We never got the full details from Michael. All we saw was him dancing on top of the car because he beat the case. We never got the full details of Michael. What really happened? Why are they in the room with their pajamas on? And why do you have all these secret passageways and something about some underwear? Why? Why does he know what your mole look like on you? Like, we never got all that. We never got that. But at the end of the day, here we are. We got Leaving Neverland, probably one of the most discussed documentaries in a very long time. And we got a lot of people with a lot to say about it. And my thing is, my question, as I put on the beginning in the topic, are they lying on Michael? That's the question we're here to answer. And I honestly, and I'm as a grown man, I'm not going to say 100% they're lying. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say they're lying. No, I'm not going to say that. I am going to raise questions about the timing. I'm going to raise questions about the timing because it seems like bullshit. It seems like bullshit. When a man is dead for 10 years, here you come with this bullshit. So I am going to question the timing, which speaks to your validity, which speaks to your credibility. I disagree with the timing. I disagree with it. I disagree with some of the things laid out. I disagree with some of it. Some of it don't make. It's just like Jesse Smollett. Some of it don't make no sense. Some of it doesn't make any sense. So are they lying? I'm not going to go so far as to say they're lying. I see a lot of people online. Oh, they're liars. Da da da. Liars is a strong word. I can't say, like I said, I can't get on the drawbridge and say 100% whether I live or die based on what Michael may have did or not. Michael's a human being. He ain't no angel. He not Jesus. He a human. So I'm not going to say they're lying. What I am going to say is I don't believe them. How about that? I don't believe them. They've been trying for years to take this man as this monster, but they never can prove it. With R. Kelly, you can prove it. Bill Cosby, you can prove it. You have never proved that this man's a monster. Never. So with that being said, are they lying? I don't know, but I don't believe them. Thank y'all for watching, listening, and talking facts. Let me know what you think. I know this is a hard topic. It is what it is. My name is Chuck Wick Ills, a.k.a. Charles Brown. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I got some music coming out and I'm doing another live show. That one's going to probably just be Facebook. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing this year, so just stay tuned, rock with me. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Oh, and I'm about to do some more music reviews. I haven't been on that page in a while, but I finally got motivated with some new songs, some new music.